Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, from Oplan Tokhang to Oplan All Talk.
Hindi pa pala nag-briefing eh. So why already all of these ideas and criticism?
Are you saying she's starting on the wrong foot, sir? Ganun ho ba?
Starting on the wrong mouth.
The Vice President taking on the challenge as anti-drug czar.
I already made a recommendation na magkaroon ng platform for private groups to become a part of the conversation.
But is she starting with the wrong strategy?
I would assume na ang influencer rito is to moderate actually yung mga extreme.
Also preventing so-called killings in the government war on drugs.
Kung ito ang pagkakataon para matigil ang patayan ng mga inosente at mapanagot ang kailangang managot, papasanin ko ito.
And shifting the government's approach in solving the illegal drug problem. Vice President Robredo spokesperson Attorney Barry Gutierrez and former PDEA Chief Dionisio Santiago join us live. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. Malacanang says that Vice President Robredo can scrap the controversial Oplan Tokhang as she takes on the lead in the government's war on drugs. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says that as anti-drug czar, the Vice President has the free hand to implement policies she may find more effective. Also, should VP Robredo join an anti-illegal drug operation? And is she doing more talk than work, as House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano claims? Let's go straight to the source of the story first. Former PDEA and Dangerous Drugs Board Chief, also head of Bucor, Chief General Dionisio Santiago. General, good to see you again. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Good morning, Pinky. Good morning sa ating mga televiewers.
Sir, ano ho ba ang inyong unang reaction when you found out that the VP is the anti-drug czar? Nung tinanggap po niya yung posisyon?
Pare-pareho kami siguro ng reaction. Maraming, sabi ko, ano kaya, I'm just watching. Nag-aantay ako ng mga reaction ng tao. Pare-pareho, merong agreeable, merong nagko-question. So, nakikinig lang ako.
Ano yung pakiramdam niyo, sir? When you found out, I ask you that, sir, because I mentioned a while ago, looking back at your past roles, namuno po kayo ng Bucor, ng DDB, and ng PDEA.
Siyempre, sabi ko, naku, mahirap ito. Mahirap na trabaho yan. Oh. Very complicated yung trabaho sa drugs. Eh.
Pagka, to lead an anti-drug czar, you're talking about some agree, some disagree, hindi ho ba, General? Kailangan ho ba, polis ka, o kailangan ba, kailan ba immersed ka doon sa operation bago ka maging anti-drug czar? O pwede ka namang from siguro as a lawyer, the Vice President being a lawyer, pero meron ka namang magagaling na implementers or advisors?
Saka nag-o-observe yan. Alam mo naman, yung anti-drug campaign natin, matagal na yan. Hindi naman bago lang yan eh. Kahit pa paano, namuno sila doon sa kanilang area, sa Naga, no? Kahit pa paano, alam mo, hindi naman immune yung Naga sa drug problem. So pagka local government unit ka, medyo nakakaalam ka rin na nangyayari dyan. Saka sa mga discussions, sa mga talk show, sa mga news, makakapagbasa ka naman, makakapag-analyze ka. Pero iba talaga yung may experience ka. Ibang talaga may experience ka.
And in that sense, sir, wala ho si Vice President?
No, pero as you said, marami namang mag-a-advise. Ang importante, open-minded siya doon sa mga advices. Na kasi merong, sabi nga, complicated. May legal problem, may enforcement problem. Meron social component, may financial, economic component. Kailangan medyo holistic. And fortunately, yung Dangerous Drugs Board, pati ang ICAD, pare-pareho nandiyan yung mga kailangan mong mga ahensya para tumulong sa iyo eh. And they know their respective jobs.
Where is she best siguro where is she the best fit doon sa ICAD, sir? Dahil when you look at the ICAD, I think there are 4 components under the ICAD, which comprises about 20 agencies. Ano? May law enforcement, merong rehabilitation, may
Justice.
health, etc. Justice, sir.
Yes.
Saan ho kaya dapat, you think, tumutok si Vice President?
Depende nga sa role na binigay. Pagka di namin drug sir ka, di iyo lahat yan. Ngayon, kung co-chair ka, bahala na kayo mag-usap kung saan ka most suitable, kung saan ka comfortable. Anyway, as co-chair naman, you can talk and discuss between the 2 chairmen and of course with the memberships of the ICAD and the Dangerous Drugs Board.
What is the advantage of Vice President being the anti-drug czar? Do you see any advantage?
Ang advantage niya kung talagang mapapakailaman mo lahat. Diba? Kung co-chair ka, mapapakailam ka, pero yung scope of authority and responsibility kailangan well-defined eh. Pagka hindi well-defined dyan, magkaturoon pa kayo dyan, magkasisihan pa kayo, di ba?
How do you define that? Is it that between her and DG Aquino? Silang dalawa hubay magde-define yan?
Dapat. Pero siguro, siyempre, ang big boss natin dyan, yung president. Pag-usapan nila yan, ano ba talagang responsibility lang ba o without authority to o talagang full authority ba to? Depende sa mandate na ibinigay ng president.
Is it clear to you, watching the news, sir, kung ano ang mandate na binigay ni Pangulo kay Vice President Robredo?
Walang malilinawan yan unless hindi natin alam kung nagkaroon sila ng pag-uusap na eh.
It doesn't
For all
seem
you know,
like
baka nag-uusap na silang dalawa. Kaya tinanggap. Yung iba, pati kanyang close advisors, alanganin, di ba? Pero tinanggap niya, baka nagkaroon na silang usapan dyan, may agreement na sila. At alam na niya yung... Pero siyempre, kung ako yun, hanapin ko black and white. Yun ang safety net ko eh, di ba?
Parang general, so it seems that medyo ambiguous, medyo hindi ho clear yung kanyang role. Kasi inappoint siyang anti-drug czar, pero wala pong yung sinasabi niyong scope and parang job description.
Parang wala eh, di ba? Binabase ko lang naman sa mga comments, mga comments ng both sides. Parang wala eh, dahil kasi kung malinaw yan, si DG Aquino, automatic sasabihin niya, boss, ikaw lang, sige na, ano bang gusto mo? Bibigay mo ng authority. Aside from her being the number 2 ng country, vice president yan eh, parang lumalabas, walang malinaw eh. Diba?
In fact, sabi ni DG Aquino, medyo awkward. Dahil co-chairperson mo, kayong dalawa, silang dalawa, ay mag-co-chair, pero vice president yung katabi niya.
Alanganin. Saka kung malinaw ang mandato, hindi na magsasabi siguro si DG Aquino na doon siya. Dahil kung pagpasok na, itong mandate ko, pag-usap pa lang nila, itong mandate ko, ito gagawin ko. Susunod na yung isa dahil dalawa yung kanyang position, vice president. Tapos. Pero yung drug...
Do you see a conflict though there? May conflict ho kaya doon?
Kasi itong isa law enforcement guy ito eh.
Si DG Aquino?
Siyempre, ang feeling niya, siya ang authority niya, siya na mas expert dyan. Itong kaya sinasabi niya parang walang experience, di ba? Parang in effect, ang titingnan mo sa naging trabaho, may karapatang magsalita yung isa dahil talagang law enforcement siya eh. Pero itong isa naman, pag pumunta ka sa justice force, sa legal portion, lamang itong isa. Di ba? Abogado.
Then that's a good mix then. It's a good mix. It's a good combination.
Mix kung hindi kayo magkakaroon ng conflict. Yan ang kailangan i-avoid mo rito eh. And of course, alisin mo yung politics yan. Walang border yan eh.
General, natatanggal ho ba talaga ang politika sa ganitong klaseng organization? Even the ICAD. You have a vice president who is an opposition, who is not part of the administration, now part of the government's war on drugs. Natatanggal, palagay niyo ba matatanggal ang politika dito?
Ang politika, hindi nawawala yan eh. Miski within doon sa talagang law enforcement lang eh. Nandiyan ang PMP, nandiyan ang NBI, nandiyan yung military intelligence. May kanya-kanyang gustong gawin yan eh. Doon pa lang magulo na yan eh. Kaya ang talagang kailangan yan, ito, spelled out yan very clearly.
Where do you think she should begin, the Vice President?
Ah?
Saan ho siya palagay ninyo dapat mag-umpisa?
Hindi, tama yung umpisa niya. Ang una mong gagawin dyan, huwag mong apurahin. Although may alam na yan, nakikinig yan, may mga advices yan. Pero ang tamang gawin, umuupuan mo. Tingnan mo, ano bang yung National Anti-Drug Strategy. Yan ang pag-uumpisahan mo eh. From there, spelled out yan. Makikita mo, spelled out ang function ng bawat departamento. Ngayon, ang problema dyan, hindi clear kung ano budget ng mga departamento eh. Ang daming departamento. And kung ako Department of Education, susumahin mo ako sa performance ko as Education Secretary. Nasa side lang yan, Kwan.
Okay.
Kailangan magkaroon ng special program. May maganda bang programa ng DSWD, pati ang DOJ, tingnan mo yung kanyang batting average doon sa kanyang conviction rate, prosecution, ano?
So she really needs to sit down. She needs to sit down and study this first, no? General, especially all the agencies under the ICAD. We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Joining us now on the phone, Vice President Leni Robredo spokesperson, Attorney Barry Gutierrez. Attorney, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Pinky. Sorry I couldn't make it, but I was stuck in traffic for almost 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And
That's okay, Attorney. I had Speaker Cayetano yesterday on the show, and I'm sure you already know because you gave a statement on this, that he was saying that, it's not Oplan Tokhang anymore, it's Oplan all talk because the Vice President is talking even prior to learning the ins and outs of the anti-drug operation, Attorney.
Well, as I said yesterday, the statement coming from the Speaker of the House is really very, very disappointing. The task to actually lead all government efforts in the anti-drug campaign was given by the President to Vice President Leni Robredo. She met with the different agency heads belonging to ICAD last Friday. She gave her initial statements regarding what she felt the new direction that this campaign would take would be. And, even before she has settled down to work, she's barely been on the job a week. We have this discouraging and I think uncalled for statement on the part of the Speaker of the House. So, at this point, we are grateful that the bulk of government agencies involved in the anti-drug campaign have expressed support. In fact, even the Palace stated yesterday that they were going to support Vice President Leni Robredo. So, I think that Speaker Cayetano should reconsider his position here, especially given that the Vice President hasn't really been on the job that long.
Okay. He did, though, say also yesterday that he supports the Vice President. And in effect, he was saying that her success is everybody's success and her failure is actually everybody's failure too. I'm going to put those two sound bites together because when he said that it's from Oplan Tokhang to Oplan all talk, I asked him, so is the Vice President starting on the wrong foot? And he answers this. Let's listen.
It's a all-of-government effort. So the success of the ICAD and Vice President Leni's success of the whole country, failure is not only her failure. Failure natin lahat. So I want to make that clear, no, na dapat tanggalin ang politics, whether from the opposition or administration, when it comes to drug war. I've been monitoring the last 3 days, no, and parang from Operation Tokhang, naging Operation All Talk eh. Pag upo pa lang, UN, papasukin ba o hindi? Tokhang, tanggalin mo, etc. So, it's so hard to know. Then now she's saying, magpapabriefing ka sa lahat ng department at lahat ng agencies. Eh, hindi pa pala nagbriefing eh. So, why already all of these ideas and criticism?
Are you saying she's starting on the wrong foot, sir? Ganun ho ba?
Starting on the wrong mouth.
All right. Do you find any solace, I guess, Attorney, with the Speaker saying that her success is the country's success and her failure is also the country's failure?
Well, to my mind, he's really contradicting himself. He's going to say, well, we all want the vice president to succeed. Her success is the country's success. It's a whole of government effort. Politics should have no place in this. And then he proceeds to blast her. Come on. I mean, he has to make up his mind here. Is he really sincerely going to support the vice president, which means supporting the initiatives that she has actually stated she will pursue? Or is he going to, deliver these cute sound bites that he seems to be so proud of doing? So he really has to make up his mind here.
So
does he want to help, or does he want to heckle?
Do you think he is sincere then? Because you used that word, sir.
Well, I will wait to see what actions he takes as Speaker of the House.
Okay.
Obviously, the Congress will have a huge role here. Not the least of which will be providing adequate funding for the anti-drug effort, ensuring that there is adequate support for initiatives like, for example, the procurement of body cameras, which the Vice President already mentioned the other day. So unlike him, I will not judge him on his statements to the media. I will instead wait to see whether his statement that he will support the Vice President and that he will be able to set aside politics will actually be reflected in the actions that he will take as leader of the House.
Is the Vice President going to scrap Oplan Tokhang, attorney?
Well, scrap in the sense that what she meant when she said that last Friday was clearly that she wanted to change the general public perception of Oplan Tokhang simply being about killings. She made it very, very clear since she accepted the designation last week that one of her priorities will be ensuring that innocents are not killed in the course of the anti-drug campaign. And I think that that particular sentiment is shared by a lot of our fellow Filipinos. Surveys indicate that 9 out of 10 Filipinos are opposed to extrajudicial killing. 7 out of 10 Filipinos are actually afraid that they might become victims themselves of killings related to the anti-drug effort. So, these are valid concerns, and the Vice President was simply addressing them and saying that where we should move away from Tokhang and its connotation of wanton, uncontrolled killings towards a anti-drug policy which is anchored on best practices, rule of law, and avoidance of wanton killing, particularly of innocents.
Talking about best practices, attorney, the Vice President meeting with UN Office on Drugs and Crime and also asking about best practices. What can you share with us regarding that meeting?
Well, I wasn't really sitting in on the meeting yesterday. It was a private meeting between the Vice President and representatives from the UN Office of Drugs and Crime. But my understanding was that they did discuss the experience of the UNODC insofar as assisting and giving advice on anti-drug efforts in other countries was concerned. And it was mainly an extension of an offer to provide support in terms of policy recommendations, case studies of what steps have been taken by other countries and so on. And the Vice President from the start has actually been saying that one of the most important keys to exploring new approaches to this entire anti-drug effort is learning from what other stakeholders, whether they are the UN or the United States or whether they are community-based organizations within the Philippines itself, to provide their inputs, give them a voice in the campaign. Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, if we listen to more people, if we learn from more people, then it gives us a better chance of actually improving our own efforts.
Cavite Representative Elpidio Barzaga wants the Vice President to explain her plans on the drug war at the lower house. What are your thoughts on this? Will she do that?
Well, if she is called by the lower house, obviously she will go. But my only, I suppose, the only thing I can say at this point is it would be premature to ask her barely a week into her job to give the full outline, the full comprehensive list of her plans. She is still, as you mentioned earlier, talking to the different agencies, the different clusters under ICAD. In fact, this Thursday she will be meeting specifically with the law enforcement cluster.
I see.
And after that is done, that is the time when she will start issuing the necessary directives and making the necessary recommendations insofar as is concerned. And definitely she will report to the President on these steps that she will be taking. And if the House sees fit to say, you should also explain it to us, then I'm sure she will be very, very open to that.
Thank you, Attorney Barry Gutierrez, for your time. Maraming salamat, sir. Also, still with us rather here in the studio is former PDEA and Dangerous Drugs Board Chief General Dionisio Santiago. Sir, just very quickly, dun sa mga sinabi ni Attorney Barry Gutierrez sa Vice President, Oplan Tokhang, it's really a refocusing on other things and trying, siguro, sir, to end senseless killings.
Actually, kung titingnan mo ang concept ng Oplan Tokhang, hindi naman it's not more on killing eh. Di ba sabi, knock and talk. Knock and talk. Kakatukin mo. And kaya lang, in the process, baka nagkaroon ng abuses. Yan naman ang hinahabol ni Vice President eh. Kung innocent na yung minsan questionable ang yung mga encounter, di ba?
Nanlaban, sir.
Oo, nanlaban. And then, siguro, yun lang ang titingnan doon. At siguro, kung ako papalitan ko muna yung pangalan.
You would.
Ang masama na dating na parang ang pag sinabing Tokhang patay even sa US ang ginagawa ng mga pulis yan, yung kanilang parang community relations service, meron silang team na dumadalaw sa mga not only on drugs but overall on criminality and safety of the communities. Pwedeng we can do it eh.
So also, you are in favor of changing Oplan Tokhang because it appears there is a
negative ang
negative.
connotation eh. Iba na ang dating eh. Hindi maganda.
We'll be taking another short break. We'll be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, former PDEA and Dangerous Drugs Board Chief General Dionisio Santiago. General, do you think it's a good idea that the President join the operation? Sabi po ni DG Aquino, Director General Aquino, from planning to actual operation.
Actually, hindi kailangan yun eh. Hindi kailangan yun dahil pagka pinasama mo yan, di kung ako isasamahan kita sa operation na yun, smooth na smooth. Hindi ba, walang butas. Kung special ops ang gagawin mo, palagay ko hindi tamang. Kaya naman ang naging reaction negative eh. Sasama mo unang-una, you endanger the life of the President, the Vice President. Huwag mo dapat i-challenge ng ganun. Sasaluhin yan eh. Pag challenge mo, kakagat. Pero
So mali si DG Aquino. He was wrong to challenge her.
Hindi ko sinasabing mali siya. Pero kung ako yun, huwag mong ilagay sa alanganin yung isang tao. Kasi para sabihin mo, sumama ka, para malaman mo. I don't have to be there to really find out if there's something wrong with the operation.
You don't, huh?
Hindi mo kailangan nandoon. Alam mo, some people can mess up even the scene of the crime eh. Pwede mong guluhin yun eh, para pagdating eh. Magulong-magulo yung hindi mo na matrace nasan evidences ba't ganito to. Yung magagaling na operatives, kayang guluhin ang scene of the crime.
Yeah. Senator Ping Lacson was given advice to the Vice President to watch her back. If you were just to give her an advice, General, what would it be?
The same advice I gave before eh. Huwag kang basta, use your... Kasi in the end, sabi nga niya, ang responsibility nasa shoulder mo yan eh. Kung anong maging resulta niya, kahit ano sabihin mo, binigay sa iyo, ikaw mananagot yan. So ang trabaho mo, mag-analyze ka. May advisors yan. Sila Attorney Barry, magagaling yan. Si Bullet, si Egay Irise, maganda mga sinabi sa kanya. Tingnan mo maigi, pero kahit na anong advice nila, in the end, ikaw ang magdi-decide yan. Sa'yo yan.
General, how do you describe the government's war on drugs?
Hindi, in a way, may success. Pero, yun nga. Pero, it still needs a lot of fine-tuning. Kasi yung ating coordination, baka kailangan we have to coordinate more with our international counterparts. Kasi yung mga drugs naman, marami imported na eh. Gumagawa pa rin tayo dito, pero karamihan dumadating na finished products na eh. So if our counterparts, kagaya ng Myanmar, is one of the key sources ng quality shabu. Cambodia, nakikita mo kung saan ang gagaling yan. Ang tataka mo, ba't dito ibinabagsak sa atin? Kung saan pupunta, kung saan ang gagaling. Pero puro papunta rito.
Bakit nga?
Poros yung ating madaling
Poros, yeah.
pagpasok
Pasukin.
ng droga rito, madaling ipasok, madali ring ilabas eh.
Entry and exit point,
Oo.
General. All right, so we'll see how the Vice President will be performing as the new anti-drug czar. Thank you to former PDEA and Dangerous Drugs Board Chief General Dionisio Santiago.
Thank you very
you,
much.
sir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much.
joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.